Hi, welcome back to Lightworker Training. My name is Tatiana, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today to talk about recognizing our true selves. So I've been talking about the choice of aligning with the false self or the lie or the true self, the truth, the light, the love of creation. So I want to get a little bit more into it to just help you to recognize these signs so that it's easier to tell when you're in the energy of the true self and when you're in the energy of the false self. So your true self simply knows things. I think this is very confusing sometimes because we've been indoctrinated into this system of beliefs. There's a lot of made up shit in this world that's not real. It's not how reality works. It's based on the laws that govern the universe. Well, it has to be, but it's taking that and kind of twisting it for some other kind of purpose, right? So we've all been indoctrinated into these belief systems and social conditioning and things like that. So we tend to think that we have to figure things out, that we have to prove things, we have to argue cases, we have to present all of this evidence and just really do a lot of research, and prove that we know the truth. Well, I hate to say it, but actually, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it, that your true self simply knows things, and you're not going to be able to explain how it is you know what you know. You just simply know things. You feel the resonance of the truth within you. It's like it resonates with the truth of you. The truth, whenever you encounter it, will resonate with the truth that's within you. And so your true self simply knows things. That knowledge is oftentimes instantaneous. So it can be hard to catch sometimes. Like I noticed when I was first training in intuitive intelligence, well, recognizing that I've always had intuitive intelligence and just kind of tuning my mind to be able to discern what was my intuitive intelligence. So I can't wait to get more into this in the next chapter. This is so important. But this is a little teaser in a sense, because your true self just knows things. So some of us tend to have more claircognizance than others, but we all have this ability to some degree because we all have this energy of our true selves, and it's how the true self operates. It's not trying to prove things. The truth doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It's like that's why I start out by saying things like, don't believe me, don't take my word for it, feel into it for yourself, experiment for yourself, and see what the results are. So your true self isn't just blowing a ton of mental energy out of the head and throat all the time. That is part of a parasitic, what do I want to call it? Energy loop. We've been trained to run our energy in our heads and just be like, for those of us who tend to be more upper chakra focused, a lot of times it just is, a lot of spinning the wheels in the mental realms, thinking and thinking and reading and talking and like nothing's really happening because true self, you could just stop, ask a question, get an answer, and be done. Now, you wouldn't be able to explain how you know, you would just know that you know. So there's part of us, and it's part of this parasitic programming. There's part of us that wants to be able to explain, and there's a lot of trauma and like I said, brainwashing and social conditioning layered on that. But it's a parasite hook in. So I want to bring that to your attention. Hey, I'll just throw this one out there. Any of us that are having any of these parasites hooked into our heads, our throats, our mental bodies, whatsoever, would we be willing to send them back to wherever they came from? All right, so if you're willing to release that, that's leaving your space now. So, true self just knows things. True self is just like grounded in that peace, that calm of knowing. Like I said, it's instantaneous. So if we're caught up in this like linear thought process, we're probably going to miss it. But at any time we can stop, ask a question, get more information, just know the answer, And the first thing I would ask is, who does that thought even belong to? You know what I'm saying? So if it's not yours, return to sender. If you haven't watched these other videos, please go back and watch them, because I'm just going to keep building on old information. So you can think thoughts that aren't yours. If it's not your thought, send it back. Okay, so your true self knows that it isn't the mind, emotions, or body. It's the consciousness experiencing those things. Your true self is creative and imaginative. It's not going to buy into this dialectic bullshit of like Coke or Pepsi. It's going to go, you want me to choose the lesser of two evils? I'm going to have some water instead. Okay. Enjoy. Enjoy poisoning yourself. But that's just, true self always can see the possibilities beyond what we've, like the really small containers of things that we're presented with, or the little tiny boxes that we've been trained to put ourselves in. A true self is always imagining outside of those boxes. So you might not consider yourself to be creative, but we're all creative. We all have imaginative capacities that are really incredible. A lot of those have been focused and harnessed on specific things by the media, so it's very important. If you want to get back in touch with your true self, your power, your ability to heal anything, create anything, you absolutely have to stop taking in other people's programs. Are you running other people's programs? How's that working out for you? We're here to create. We're here to be the authors, the authority of our own lives. We're here to take that script we were given, tear it up, and write a new script, write a beautiful script. We don't have to buy into this bullshit script that we come in and people are like, well, this is how this game works. It's a game where you can be evil, or you can be this kind of evil or that kind of evil, and you can do the least amount of harm, but you always have to do harm, and there's always going to be a lot of violence. It's a horror game, basically. There's a lot of gore, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of slavery, oppression. That's how the game is. We've all agreed to come here and play this game. It's like, you know what I say to that game? Delete. We don't have to play their games. And the true self knows this. The true self knows when it's presented with these bullshit choices, it goes, no. Or if it takes one, if it takes the, if you take the bait, your true self isn't taking the bait. If you, as identified as the false self, identified as the social conditioning, identified as the wounded child aspects of self, you take the bait, true self will eventually make itself known, and you'll go, oh, I did it again. I looked at that bullshit on social media and I took the bait again. I looked at that shit on the television. I took that bait again. I bought into that bullshit. Guess what? I'm blowing it all up. Delete, cancel. This is the good cancel culture. Cancel the culture, the death cult culture. Cancel all that shit and create your own game. That's what we came here to do. That's part of recognizing, part of the whole ascension process. I'll do a video on this, but part of how we graduate from Earth School is we get back in touch with who the fuck we really are. And our true self knows this stuff that we're seeing playing out on the world stage. It's all bullshit. True self knows it's all bullshit, and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. True self knows that. Anybody in their sane, true self, their true mind, the mind of God, knows that. True self knows. So true self is creative, imaginative, always thinking outside of that box, empathic, always knows the loving choice because it is love, because it is always connected to the higher mind that we all share. So we as individuals cannot see through all dimensions of time and space and understand where everybody's at in their soul journey, but we can sure tune in to that part of ourselves that is connected to that bigger knowledge base, and it's like the cosmic search engine. All you have to do is type it in. Do you remember that thing? It was like, let me Google that for you. That's what your true self is like all the time. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, just go to the source, ask a real fucking question, and get the answer, Instead of fucking around playing these games, make your own game. So the true self knows it has that power, and the true self knows itself as the authority. The true self is not seeking to find the answers out there. True self knows, go within, right? Go within or go without. True self knows I can go within and clear all this crap that's not me. You know what? Most of the work that we're doing here is just deleting all of these old belief systems. We've been indoctrinated into this crazy world where everything's upside down, inside out, ass backwards. Like, most of the work that we have to do here as light workers, as people who are interested in graduating from Earth School, maybe even being a beneficial presence as long as we're here, most of the work we're doing is just cleaning up all of this psychic trash, transmuting it. That's me putting it all in a big trash bag of light and transmuting it. Okay. So your true self has that inner authority, right? And it knows it's not a victim, even if the body was, even if the inner child was, even if the ancestors were, even if the mind was. The true self knows I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the emotions, I am that I am. I am the consciousness, the love, the light of creation. So you need to know that there's this part of you, your true self, that has never been harmed, and you can call on that energy to heal any of the parts that have been harmed. That's very important to know. Just like you can't help your inner child, your wounded inner child, if you're identified as them. If you're identified as a body, you're not going to heal your body. Well, actually, I'm not going to put that curse out there. I'll just say, good luck healing your body. Good luck with that. So it's the same kind of thing. If you want to heal the thing, you have to be in the energy of it's already done. It's already done. So true self was never harmed, is the energy of healed, perfect, whole, right? So you be the energy of wholeness, boom, you bring wholeness to the fractured, wounded, lost parts of self and integrate that. Very important. It's not about spiritual bypassing because you gotta reclaim those parts. And it's also not about wallowing in that victim picture. That's the Coke or Pepsi. That's the Coke or Pepsi. See what I'm saying? We're always being presented with Coke or Pepsi. And true self knows that's not how it works. True self knows that. So it knows the difference between love and fear. It's like, wait a minute, you just gave me poison and poison, but there's a loving choice out there, right? It knows the difference between love and fear. It knows the difference between good and bad, right and wrong. So we need to get rid of all of the beliefs of right and wrong, good and bad, so that we can come back to the knowing of it. We know it. We know there's something fucked up going on in this world because we know what is right. Now, maybe we can't explain what it is, but we feel it. We know when things are in alignment with what is correct. So belief is not required. Explanation is not required. It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. So you can tune into this energy of your true self, of this gnosis, this knowing of things outside of the chitter, chatter, bibble, bubble, thoughts. Hey, thoughts are good, but it can be a lot of just mental masturbation, like spewing this mental energy that the parasites are feeding off of. So it's far more helpful to just tune into asking questions, tuning into your true self, get the answers, clear the energy. We have a lot of healing to do to get out of this earth school. And time's a wasting. We don't have a lot of time left. I'm ecstatic that this experiment is going to be coming to a close. I believe in my lifetime. So that's fun. But I know regardless of what happens with the experiment, I'm leaving after this lifetime. So, I'm just sharing this information. Like, if you're interested in being a loving presence in the world and graduating from this realm and going on to create even more amazing things, then you can allow your true self to guide your choices day by day. You can be the energy of heaven on earth right now, even with all this shit going on. But you have to divest your attention You have to stop feeding it. You have to stop buying into this bullshit game and start creating your own game. And when you prove that you can do that, there won't be any point of you being here anymore. So I'll talk more about some ascension stuff in the next video. I hope this has been helpful and inspiring. I am so grateful for you and grateful that you're interested in getting to know your true self and healing all of this crap and getting real. So, that's a huge benefit to everyone here. So thank you for being willing to do that work. It truly is the great work of our lifetimes. And I'll be looking forward to talking more about some ascension stuff. I think I'm pretty much done with the mental chapter. I might have one other video maybe on that, and then we'll be getting into the chapter on development of intuition. Yay, so fun. Until next time, I guess just be blessed. And I'll see you next time on Lightworker Training. Bye.